Finally, the time has come for me to take a closer look at the most important Audi in a long time, the Nuvolari. This is the fastest and the most powerful car in the history of the Four Rings. And it couldn't come in a better time. It took many people, including myself, by surprise. And this one hits me straight in the feels and gives me so much hope. Audi organized this private session for me just before the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And there is so many emotions and information that I need to share with you. So let's not waste any time and let us do this. Welcome to Auditography. I have been a photo and videographer for the brand for over 20 years. I am a collector of some very unique four-ringed icons myself, and I have also made the viral movie Speak Up for Audi. That led me to even meet the CEO, and many people high up in the company are my friends. The Four Rings is my lifestyle. Join me here in this new emotional video. The Audi Nuvolari is the first supercar from the brand with a hybrid powertrain. And let's make it clear, this is not a third generation R8. It's a much more advanced, limited edition supercar with technology straight from Formula 1. That was the whole plan, to make it limited and very desirable. And with a power of over 1,000 horses, a top speed of a crazy 350 kilometers per hour, limited to 499 units only, and with a price tag of almost 700,000 US dollars. This car means serious business. And this is a statement from the whole brand. Before we go into the details, I would like to share a quick story with you of how I found out about the car. It was a few months ago when I was on a call with some Formula 1 people regarding something completely else. And I guess the person thought I already knew about this when he said, "Since Audi are bringing back the new R8 in June this year." Those were his exact words. As he said that, it woke up so many emotions within me. I acted like I knew all about it and played it cool. But as soon as the call ended, I needed a moment. And me, a grown man, sat there in silence and cried. This time, it was tears of joy. Because it meant so much to me. After all the terrible years from the brand, I was really losing hope. My Speak Up for Audi film was my last cry out for help to wake up the people in Ingolstadt. In a world of emotionless e-trons and Audi's downfall of design and the interior quality, this was like a defibrillator for my heart. Yes, I know it wasn't a new third generation R8, but it was still something amazing. Later on, I found out how secret this project was. Led by Audi's new CEO Gernot Döllner, together with only a few amazing people around him, which I call the Dream Team, they created this. Nobody else could know. They knew Audi needed a supercar. They were in Formula 1. They had the motivation and heart to fight back after the last years of suppression. Now, the car guys were in the important decision-making positions, and it was time to act. And for this, I say thank you. This is a milestone moment in the history of the Four Rings. And that's why the car adapts the name Nuvolari. Because Tazio Nuvolari, one of the most prominent figures in motorsport history, was known for his fearlessness, dedication, and the will to never give up, even if he was behind. That is the mindset of Audi now, and that's why this supercar adapts the name Audi Nuvolari. Because it's time to fight back. A very emotional moment for me was when I sat behind the steering wheel, started it up and revved the car for the first time. I almost teared up with the Audi engineers right next to me. Let me repeat myself and maybe snap my fingers in front of your face so you get the significance of this. In today's time, to rev a brand new twin-turbo V8 engine up to 10,000 RPM, without a soft limiter, looking at that lovely four-ring logo in front of you, is a feeling I never thought I would experience again. It took me back to the greatest times of Audi. Let that sink in for a moment. let's continue with the way the Nuvolari looks. The internet has been on fire since the car was revealed, and the opinions are divided. Some love it, some hate it, some need more time. Well, yes, as much as it gives nod to Audi's history and heritage, in some way it sure is different. It's Audi's new design language led by Massimo Frascella, whom I respect a lot. My opinion is that the person who complains about this car doesn't understand the significance of it. To have a limited edition 1000 horsepower supercar from Audi, with technology from the Formula 1, and revving up to 10,000 RPM in today's time of an utterly boring automotive industry, how on earth do we have the stomach to complain? That's what I think about it. I can tell you that you need to see this car in real life. It is so low, wide, and it surely makes a statement. No matter what you think of it, it will impact you in some way. The Nuvolari continues with the titanium color design of the Concept C and the Formula 1 car. Design-wise, it gives a nod to Audi's history like the legendary R8. Nobody can miss the side blade here. There are some clever solutions like all the places for the airflow through the car, and for example the hidden door handle. What makes me the most emotional is the return of a proper, beautiful Audi logo made of aluminum. Just swiping your hands across it, it brings you back to the history, heritage and identity that Audi so badly needed to come back to. Also, the rear aluminum badge carved into the rear spoiler is attention to details if you ask me. You feel the quality. There is no crazy horrendous split headlights or taillights and sights. They are simple, beautiful and so Audi. It seems like Audi found a way back to their greatness of light designs. As I was shooting this car in central London, so many people were stopping by and admiring it, talking about it, pointing, smiling. If Audi wanted to make a statement, they sure did that, by a big margin. Now let's dive into the important numbers and technology of this car, because it is impressive. The 4-liter twin-turbo V8 delivers 800 horses, with 3 axial flux electric motors each producing 110 kilowatts. The total output is 1001 horsepower and 730 Nm of torque. The engine reaches 10,000 RPM, which is coming straight from motorsport. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that because the Nuvolari doesn't have a frunk or trunk that you can open. That's a shame, because I would love to see a proper engine bay like in the iconic R8 models. The car accelerates to 100 km per hour in 2.6 seconds and to 200 in an impressive 6.8 seconds. These numbers are only possible because of innovations from the Formula 1. Those are the high-performance hybrid powertrain, quattro predictive ride, active aerodynamics, and the new aluminum space frame with carbon exterior. Audi has always been very proud of their quattro drivetrain. For over 50 years, it has been what defined Audi the most. Here, the next generation of that takes place, the quattro predictive drive. I want to point out something on that matter. Massimo, my dear friend, I know you like minimalism and clean lines, and I respect you for that. But not having this so iconic quattro badge anywhere on the exterior and not even inside on the interior is hurting every Audi fan out there. That little badge means so much to so many people. Don't ever forget the small things that sometimes can be the most important. The Nuvolari weighs in on around 1,750 kilos, which is quite impressive for a hybrid drivetrain and a car that is 4.7 meters long. To achieve this, Audi combined the aluminum space frame with a carbon exterior. It's the first time they do that. Almost all exterior components are made of carbon fiber reinforced polymer, again straight from the Formula 1. From that comes also the active aerodynamics to combine performance and efficiency, and the rear wing is the biggest demonstration of it. The Nuvolari can deliver up to 400 kilos of downforce, which is impressive if you ask me. And it sure will stop properly too, with those 10-piston fixed calipers in the front and 4-piston in the rear that work together with some massive brake discs. There is so much more on the tech side to talk about. But I will save that to that one day when I maybe will drive this monster up the Austrian Alps, like I always do in my films. Until then. Let me also say a few words about the interior. There are some amazing things in here and some less. It's clear that Mr. Frascella wanted a minimalism interior, and that's exactly what this is. The lovely steering wheel screams some quality again. The Audi logo is proudly in front of you in aluminium, and not an emotionless sticker made by a child. The instrument cluster is also an improvement. It's a step in the right direction, but I will still like to see more configuration and more nod to the history of the four rings. There are three things I have difficulties accepting. The first I have already mentioned is the missing quattro badge. Then there is the missing gear shifter in the middle. I was told that Audi did try the option but ended up going with the paddles on the steering wheel for that motorsport feel. But at the same time they hinted that the gear shifter in the middle might come back. Gosh, I hope so. Then, to my surprise, and despite the head designer wants to go back to physical buttons, the climate controls are on the screen. That is just a big no-no for me. It just doesn't work. Yes, it's closer to your hand than the screens in the hopeless new interiors, but the simple fact remains. Bring back the physical buttons. Other than that, I do like this interior. It feels simple, but you can also feel the quality. Is it enough? Almost there in my opinion. There is still that Audi quality interior design that is missing a bit. They can surely do better, and I know they will. My first meeting with the Audi Nuvolari brings out lots of emotions. Do I wish it had more Audi curvy and beautiful smooth lines and less sharp angles? Of course I do, but at the same time I am also extremely happy that this is not another fugly electric car. So the one emotion that I feel the most is pride. It's the mentality of the people in charge of the four rings that gives me the most hope. They are looking back on their history, what they have achieved, and they want to impact the automotive history yet another time. If they have that passion and strive for the Vorsprung mentality again, the future of the brand is something I want to look into with a smile. Thank you for watching.